Trial for one of three men charged in connection to the disappearance of a Bardstown mother began today here in Warren County. The disappearance happened almost 10 years ago. Now, no cameras were allowed in the courtroom today, but WBKO's Brennan Crane was there for it all, taking notes, and brings us the latest in our top story at 10.
Well, the first of two trials is underway here in Warren County for one of three men charged in connection with the disappearance of a Bardstown mother, Crystal Rogers. The first thing that was taken up on Tuesday morning were pretrial motions, two of those larger ones on the table. One, the defense was asking for another continuance. The new lawyers representing Steve Lawson have requested for the judge to postpone the case, citing their lack of time to go over the voluminous discovery involved in the case. They told us today in court that there were over 400,000 pages worth of documents to go over, several hours of interviews and testimony. Once that trial finally began, there were 15 jurors, 5 men, 10 women, and there are 3 alternates, but we won't know who those alternates are until the very end, just before the jury goes in to deliberate. Prosecutor Shane Young began with his opening statement. He laid out the background of the Crystal Rogers disappearance and connected Steve Lawson directly to it. He says evidence like phone data is something that's going to prove that Steve Lawson had something to do with Crystal Rogers' death. Now, the lawyers for Steve Lawson were in court today with him. That's Zach Buckler and Darren Wolf, who's leading the charge. He came right out of the gate telling him that his client is guilty of one of 2 charges, but there are still a lot of unknowns, and that's something that he was trying to hit home with that jury. Opening statements lasted less than an hour, and it was straight to the witness stand for Sherry Ballard. That's Crystal Rogers' mother. She was on the stand for about 20 minutes and very emotional from the start. Detective John Snow was on the stand for the longest today out of the 2 witnesses called. He was on the stand for several hours, detailing the investigation from the time Crystal's vehicle was found on the side of the Bluegrass Parkway all the way to the time he was interviewing folks like Brooks Houck and Steve Lawson. Jurors were told to be back here at the Warren County Courthouse on Wednesday morning at 8:30. We'll be continuing to cover that as the trial goes on. They say this could take up to 5 days. For now in Bowling Green, I'm Brennan Crane, WBKO News.